Vantage, the newest recon legend to be added to Apex Legends, is also perhaps the most slept on. In this video, we're going to teach you how to use her effectively in ranked, and dive deep into her kit, show you the best way to utilize her abilities, and to help your team get the win. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment down below. I'm Big Skooma, and without further ado, let's get right into the guide.
Oh my god, I just killed 3 of them.
So as I mentioned, this guide will mainly focus on ranked play and how to utilize her in ranked. However, a lot of these tips and tricks can also be applied to public matches. So here's Vantage's kit. We're going to dissect each ability, her passive, her tactical, and her ultimate, as well as her utility passive as a recon legend, and go over the best ways to utilize them in ranked and help you move through the ranks. So starting things off, we have her passive, Spotter's Lens. This ability allows you to zoom in while you have your weapon holstered, as if you had a 3x scope equipped. In addition, while zoomed in on an enemy target, it allows you to scan them, which will display what legend you're looking at, as well as what the armor type is on that character, as well as the remaining characters in their squad. It'll also display how many living members are still in that squad. In addition, her passive also works through smoke, making her a great counter to Bangalore. Also, when you ping an enemy target, Vantage will say which character it is so your teammates can hear the audio quip, just in case you're not using mics. And finally, while aiming down sight with a sniper scope, Spotter's Lens will display a circle on your reticle showing the bullet drop for the particular sniper rifle you're using, so making long range shots a breeze. And next, moving on to Vantage's tactical, we have Echo, her bat companion. Echo can be deployed into a predetermined location as far as 40 meters in any direction. Once deployed, Vantage can use her tactical again to leap to Vantage's location and perform a double jump once she arrives to that location. Her total leap distance is 55 meters, so if you back up a little bit, you'll see that you can actually reach up to 55 meters for the leap and another 25 meters with your double jump, so a total distance of 80 meters traveled. You can also cancel Vantage's jump mid-jump by holding the crouch button. This will shorten your distance a little bit, but will allow you to pull your weapon out faster and give you a little bit more control if you're trying to land on a specific location. This is useful if you have cracked an enemy's shield and you're looking to push them before they have a chance to heal, and you want to make sure you can get the jump on them firing and not have them laser you as you're boosting down. So crouching will allow you to slow down, pull your weapon out, and fire immediately. This tip is very useful because it cancels the animation of boosting down, which takes an extra 3 seconds before you're able to fire your weapon and take out your weapon, so it makes you 3 seconds faster to get into the fight, which is a lot of time in a firefight. You can also recall Echo mid-jump if you need to perform your double jump sooner than expected. And as I mentioned before, Echo can be deployed in any direction, so don't forget to take the high ground whenever possible, as it'll win you a lot more firefights. If Star Wars has taught us anything, is that the high ground always wins. So to summarize, Echo's leap is very versatile and can be used both defensively and offensively, so don't be afraid to mix it up. Use her ability to relocate to different angles, to flank, as well as to get the high to reach positions, giving yourself the high ground, or if you need to use it defensively, to get out of a firefight, disengage when in a flash when need be. And finally, we have Vantage's ultimate, her sniper mark, which is a custom sniper rifle that she can use at any time as long as she has one bullet in the chamber. This sniper is extremely powerful and doubles in damage with consecutive hits on the same target, as well as leaves the enemy marked, which makes them 15% more vulnerable to damage for the next 10 seconds from you and your team. After her passive, her ultimate is probably her most useful ability for groups, as it allows her to tag enemies, get damage amplifiers, as well as get easy knocks from range, making your team more confident for pushing in ranked, as well as public matches. A common mistake players make as they're moving up through the ranks is they become more timid to pick fights because they're in higher skilled lobbies. However, this is a mistake because in the current rank system, KP means everything, so it's important to get those early fights in, get some KP under your belt before you focus on the end game and your rotations there. Which is why her sniper mark is such a useful ability, because you can get knocks from mid-range quite easily, which gives your team the more confidence, like I was saying, to push a squad, and it can also turn the tide. If a squad's got you pinned down and you can get a knock, that gives you guys all the advantage, all the power, as you guys can push. They're scrambling to get a res or to fight you off now a man short. So make sure you utilize her sniper rifle. You only have 5 bullets, so carry some ultimate accelerants, as that'll really help you keep that gun loaded. Now that we've covered all of her abilities, it's time to apply all that knowledge into your ranked matches. So my first tip for Vantage players in ranked is don't sit back on her. She's a very aggressive player when she needs to be, And in the current rank system, KP is really important. So drop contested with at least one squad and push those early fights. They're the easiest to win. Don't put yourself in a position where you're relying on RNG for loot. But if you can make sure you can get yourself a gun and then have an easy one 3v3, then you can stock up on KP early, and that will really help you with your cover your ante as you rotate towards the end game, and that KP becomes more and more valuable. What you don't want to do is just drop hot like you would in public matches trying to get high kill games. The reason for that is there's too many variables and too many things that can go wrong when there's that many squads in play. Try to keep your fights down to 1 or 2 squads, because if you do, even if you walked out with 6 kills but you didn't make it out of the top 15, you're probably still going to lose like 30 points. The KP is worth virtually nothing until you get into higher placements. So it's important to get the easy kills early on, but don't go crazy and put yourself in a position where you're going to end up still losing out. The next tip is scan beacons. With the new classification system, recon characters can outscan beacons and offer a UAV for you and your team, similarly to Crypto's POI in Kings Canyon. It lasts for 30 seconds. It does not show enemies moving, but it does show the location when you first commit the scan. So scan every beacon. It can really allow you to not only see where you need to go to rotate if you're trying to get into circle late game, or if you dropped and there was nobody else with you and now you're quickly trying to find a squad that you can push and get some early kills. Be cautious though, because enemies are alerted when they are scanned by a beacon, and as well as which beacon they were scanned from. So your location will also be given away. So don't linger in the same spot. Make sure you're scanning with a purpose and moving on to wherever you're headed, whether it's circle or whether it's into a fight. My next tip is utilize your passive as much as possible. Our passive is very useful, and as a recon legend, you want to be constantly giving your team information as far as enemies, location, or anything you can on where the next team is or where you need to go. And she doesn't offer as much as some other recon legends. So utilizing your passive is the best way to feed your teammate information on how many people are left in a squad, what armor types they have, whether we can push, if there's a squad close by that can third party us if we do make that push, or if we're clear to engage and get that kills. My next tip is to use sniper rifles. A lot of people make the mistake of not carrying a sniper with Vantage because her ultimate's a sniper, but that's a mistake. In ranked matches, you always want to be carrying a mid-range weapon to long-range weapon, but for Vantage players, I recommend this be a sniper because it pairs with her passive and allows you to give more information to your team from longer range. Essentially, the longer range scope you have equipped it to your weapon, the further Spotter's lens will work, allowing you to have much further range for your passive ability and being able to scan teams from much further away, giving that information back to your teammates. In addition, Spotter's lens also puts that reticle on your sniper rifle scope, it compensating for bolt drop, so it makes long range shots really, really easy, as I said before. So having that sniper rifle allows you to poke from much further away, which can be great for leveling up your shields, as well as your teammates' shields. Which leads me into my next tip: upgrade your teammates' shields. Having the sniper mark, as well as the sniper, gives you such easy poke ability, and once you get your shields up to purple or red, switch with your teammate and poke with that armor equipped, so you can level theirs up as well. That way, if you're not getting into a ton of fights early in the game to level up your shields naturally, it still allows you to come into a late fight with at least purple, because you're coming up against a squad that has a lot of kills. They're probably going to have red already, and that puts you at a disadvantage if you're running around with blues because you haven't fought anybody yet, right? So switch shields with teammates, level up those shields, be a good teammate. It's another great way to lend support to your team because you have such an easy ability to make long-range shots because you don't have to compensate for bullet drop. My next tip is carry ultimate accelerants. Use them. Try to carry at least one with you at all times. It'll give you 2 bullets with your sniper rifle. So try to keep that sniper rifle charged up as much as possible because it can make the difference in a fight. Like I said earlier, if you're pinned down in a fight or in a really bad position and you're forced to push a squad, being able to get an easy knock with a sniper gives your team a huge advantage to be able to ape them and take their position and get out of a bad situation. So don't be mistaken, she does have a lot of utility for your team, but part of that is by keeping your abilities active and ready to go. So use those ultimate accelerants. At the very least, even if you have it all charged up and you don't have an application for it, you can still hold it for a teammate that might be, let's say they're a Wraith or an Ash or whatever, and you now can use their ultimate faster in order to get in and out of fights or to rotate when need be. My next tip is pick smart fights. I mentioned before, it's very important to get early KP, but not at the risk of throwing the match. With Vantage's passive, it gives you a long-range view of any enemy team in sight. So use that ability to figure out what teams are worth pushing, what teams are worth avoiding, and whether or not there's a third party in play. But make sure you're picking a fight that you're in control of and you're fighting on your terms. If the fight's not on your terms, it's liable to go badly. So make sure you're fighting on your terms and pick smart fights, pick smart engagements to get your kills. Don't put yourself in a position where you're going to throw your match just because you're trying to rack up the kill count there, because it's not worth. You still need to get into top placement for those kills to be worth anything. So don't put yourself in a position where you're going to throw your match. My next tip is to take height. There's a reason that movement legends have been in the meta season after season after season, and it's because their ability to relocate, take height, and to move their squads into better positions is very, very important in Apex. Movement is everything, and position is everything, especially in ranked play. When it comes down to late game, the team with the best position is going to win 9 times out of 10. So make sure you're not sleeping on an opportunity to get height. I know you don't have the ability as Vantage to get your entire team to that location, but at the very least you can take it before the enemy can take it, making sure that you have that, your team has that advantage, and gives you that head glitch, renders their cover less effective, and gives you the opportunity to lay in some heavy damage, if not get some knocks, to help your team win your fights. But very important, always look to take height in any engagement where it's possible, as well as make sure you're relaying information to your team while at height. And my final tip for you guys there is make sure you're able to change gears. And what I mean by that is I've been talking this whole video about how important KP is and getting some KP because of this current rank system. But winning is still the most valuable thing you can do in a ranked match to rank up. And you're not going to realistically win every match, but you want to put yourself in a position every game to give yourself an opportunity to win. So get that early KP, but don't linger too long. If you're trying to fight, if you're fighting, you're going to have the storm on your back, and when you get to circle, you're going to have every team already posted up in every good position, and then you're forcing to take a bad fight in a small circle where you're liable to get third partied or shot from multiple teams, and it makes it very, very difficult. And if you're consistently able to get 6, 7, 8 kills every game moving into the late game, as long as you're getting top 5, you're making great progress. But realistically, that's not going to happen. You are going to lose some fights. Shit happens. So don't put yourself in a position where you're working to get these kills, and then you're not getting rewarded for those fights. Mid game is all about rotations. So get your early kills, rotate the circle, and then poster up and get yourself a win, because your KP is going to be so much more valuable, and you're going to find yourself going through ranks way, way faster. So don't get too headstrong when it comes to getting those kills. It's always, when you get into a flow, it's so nice to just, you kill that squad, kill this squad, and then you put yourself in a position where you think you can't lose, and then a third party comes in, or a squad you didn't see is already there, and you put yourself in a position where you're pinched, and then you lose. All that KP you got is worthless, right? So be smart, play for the win. Just keep that KP in the back of your mind, right? But make sure you can get downshift into a position where mindset, where you are trying to win the game and not just frag out, because fragging out's for pubs. You watch the ALGS. There's a lot of squads that make it very deep in the ALGS, and they're in the late circle with blue shields because position is so much more important towards the end game, and those wins are important. And the same applies to regular ranked leagues. So do yourself a favor. Don't get too crazy with the kills. Get your early KP, get yourself into circle, and get the win. So to summarize, guys, Vantage is a fantastic legend with a lot to offer teams in ranked. I think she's very slept on for ranked play because of the current meta that we've had the last few seasons when it comes to recon characters, and her not having a wall hack ability. But that doesn't mean she's not a useful character, and I think her kit encourages a different kind of play style. But if you follow that play style, she can be very effective. And with the right other characters paired with her, she can still be incredibly useful and give you advantages that other recon legends can't offer. I think she's a lot more versatile than other recon legends, and that's part of the reason she slept on, is because people think I need scans. We need scans. We need a seer. We need a bloodhound. We need a crypto. And the reality is that outside of their ability to scan, which, don't get me wrong, is incredibly useful, and there's a reason those characters have been in the meta, but they still don't have a lot of offer outside of that. They don't, aside from maybe Bloodhound's his speed when he's using his ultimate, and Crypto's ultimate for breaking shields. They don't have the ability to maneuver like she can, to flank like she can, to hit, to get the knocks like she can, to give the amplified damage like she can, right? So she does offer a lot. She's very slept on because her kit doesn't lend to the mindset of what meta is for Recon Legends. So definitely don't be afraid to use her. I've had a blast playing her this split, and I definitely don't think she's hindered our progress at all. Most of our failures have come from us whiffing in a fight or making a poor decision, but it hasn't been due to a lack of kit from any of our legends. So don't be afraid to use her if you enjoy her, and follow this guide to get the best out of her because she is very, very useful. But with that, guys, I'm going to close up this video. I really hope you enjoyed it and found it helpful and entertaining. If you did enjoy the video and would like to see more content like this, please consider liking and subscribing. It really helps the channel. We're on our way to 200 subs, and any support that you guys are willing to give is much appreciated. I've been really enjoying getting to know people in the comment section and people that have joined our Discord as well. I'm going to link the Discord below, as well as Azazel Plays and Javi's channel down below. They're regular guys that I play with, and they're great content creators, so make sure you check out their channels. All that's going to be linked below in the description. But with that, guys, we'll see you next time, and we'll see you in the next video.
On the roof. Climbing up. Ooh. Oh, I'm shooting the one that's not cracked. I need a bat.
One shot on the mountain.
Okay, keep covering, keep covering. I'm one. Oh, he's up. One shot. Nice, 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 nice. Healing again. Got it. What the? Let's go! Finally.
Fucking finally!
Great match.
Turbocharged.
I should not have Valk ulted right there. I don't think I got any